Hi, hey, and all those other greetings, Spade Adventurers. Welcome back to Spade Gals Productions, Game Boxing Channel with me, Jake Spins, who's also from Spade Gals Original, with Gorilla Cyclones, Quincor, Florlai, and Vlogs, as well as art videos. And today, we are back with the second Super Smash Bros. Ultimate custom stage video. Now, I did one in between this for a contest, and I actually ended up winning the contest, so I guess I should have made a video for it, but I didn't, so sorry about that. But it is a ukulele stage, and you guys can all check it out and stuff. But you might be wondering, Spins, why is the background different? Well, now you get to see the amiibo wall. Isn't it beautiful? I mean, that's not the full amiibo wall. That right there, that's only part of it. There's amiibo stuff there, amiibo stuff there. Got a painting and then Palutena poster. So, yeah, we're back in my room. And you guys already know what's going on with the whole room stuff. But I figured, you know what? I really want to make a stage. And today, we are going to try to do something from Sonic Adventure. What I was gonna do a stage from, I believe, Sonic 3, but even though I am still gonna try to do that, and that's probably gonna be the next one, as I was laying in bed, I thought, oh my gosh, this could be a really cool part for Ice Cap. And so here we are. So we're gonna try to make Ice Cap Zone from Sonic Adventure. Alright, see you guys in a minute. Alrighty, already back for the Build Me a Dream series. Yeah, I wanted to make sure I mentioned it first because I forgot to in the actual recording, and I apologize for that. So, a lot of this at the end, I kind of explained my thought process of how in the world I wanted to do this and what I was thinking for bit by bit, but I never really discussed certain things. So, inside of the materials list, there are a few materials that do actually lend themselves fairly well for something such as Ice Cap, such as the icicles, or not icicles, silly me, the ice for, well, ice, marble for snow, steel for rock, but also the dirt for rock. Now, I'm realizing right now that there was actually one specific part that I did leave steel. Most of it you will eventually see is either ice or other things such as that. Now, the main reason why I ended up doing this whole entire stage is because I was sitting in bed the other night and I was like, you know, I wonder if I could make the icicles from Ice Cap be climbable. And I started thinking about it, and I thought, well, I could put an icicle in the background. And then I could put a ladder on top of it. Unfortunately, though, for it to actually be a viable option, you have to make the ladder extremely long, which in turn would make the icicle very long. So, because of spacing and because of how I wanted to make the stage, I wasn't really able to make the icicles how I wanted to, but in a way you could kind of see it as an Easter egg. But at the same time, they are technically functional, just not necessarily in the best type of way. I am curious though how, well not how, but if there will be a certain way that they will actually be useful to somebody. For the way the background works, though, in this is something that I'm very, very much learning throughout this whole entire process of the stage creator. Things in the background, since they are further, if you are further to the right or to the left, you will have quite the issue actually matching it up with things in the foreground, which is why on a flat texture, it looks like the ladder, the third ladder, is actually off base from the icicle, but in reality, when you actually look at it from the perspective that the game shows you, it actually shows a very nice angle with you going on it. Now, one mistake that I'm going to mention really quick is that, as you can see, we just made the platform. And one thing that I ended up deeming as a mistake is that I used the rubber, which I wanted to use for the full background, which we'll get to later. But I realized that's really not going to work in the foreground, which is also something that I realized later. One major thing that I did have another issue with, though, was, and as you can see, there's a lot of points where I'm just kind of pausing and trying to figure things out and how I want to do things, and then I forgot that the spring was the item, and I tried to use the bumper to actually bounce off the bumper to get to the ladders. But I actually did look at the stage a little bit. But one thing that I had a bit of an issue trying to figure out how I wanted to do was the main platform. What I ultimately decided on was to do a marble layer and have that a fair amount of length, because I want there to be a big area that you can run around and just easily fight on. In that same vein, it's ice caps, so we gotta have those icy physics, am I right? I know there's gonna be somebody who's really upset with me on that, but think about it. It's ice cap. You gotta have that, and I feel like it would definitely bring a very interesting way and style of fighting, because you have to take into account that how I'm gonna move a little further. So basically what I'm saying to you is that playing as Luigi on the stage is going to be very, very frustrating. I know that I keep saying another thing that I learned, but honestly, another thing that I learned is that throughout this process, I got to find how the boundaries of the level went. Of course, this ended up being a 4-player only stage, even though it could very easily fit 8 people and would be hecka fun to play on with 8 freaking people. Like, seriously, this would be an amazing stage to just play on with 8 people, and they don't give you that much of an opportunity to have it to where you can fight with 8 people. So a smaller stage can fit 8 people, a bigger stage can't. That doesn't make sense to me, but I guess maybe it's a spacing issue? I honestly don't know. They're probably just trying to avoid slowdown and all that kind of stuff, which, that's fair. But I definitely figured out what the boundaries of the camera were, how far it actually went, and I believe it goes till, like, the purple boundary. And I got to actually, believe it or not, play around with a lot more things. Surprisingly, the very background layer, the last background layer where I just put that giant rubber square, yeah, that took up no storage whatsoever. I was watching, it may have taken up a little bit, but it took up basically nothing. And that in and of itself is just crazy, because seriously, it spans the whole thing. And I saw this one level where it was the same thing, where you could look over, and I was like, oh, that looks kind of weird. Why'd they just stop there? The reasoning is because the level creator actually doesn't let you go past that, because you're generally not supposed to see that, but when you get to a certain point, you actually do end up seeing that, because you go high enough, even if you're not supposed to be able to go up there through general means, getting KO'd through there is going to make you fly. Could I have just left it as the icy background? Oh yeah, 100%. But it's in a cave, and sure, I didn't really add any details, but, it's just whatever. Alright, back to regular spins. Alrighty guys, so there you have it. Ice Cap Zone from Sonic Adventure DX, and just Sonic Adventure. So, let's just take a little bit of a look around in the stage. Now, I know that mostly it's fairly flat, and, I hope that's not really too big of an issue. But let's go over what everything is supposed to be. Now, I kind of had to mash certain things together just to, just to make it work. And, that's okay. But this is mostly the one room. If you guys remember where you start as Big the Cat, you have this whole entire fishing segment where you break open something with a giant boulder, and then you jump in, and there's water and stuff. So I put a little wind effect. It doesn't really feel that much like water, but that's kind of supposed to be the idea for it, is just having it be like a little area you can go to and maybe like plot and scheme or something like that, just to represent that water has a slight watery feel. And then, just because most of the stage is flat, it mixes stuff up. And then you have that other beginning area, which is connected to the water. So I did all the marble as like a snow texture, because that's the closest we have to snow, to be completely honest with you. And then in the beginning, the very beginning, you go onto a rocket, and there's this platform that is just a pillar and then this little bump. And I thought that would be the perfect thing to put there, because even though it's not exactly like that main area, it's very close to being like that main area. So by doing that, you can then jump up to the icicles, which I used ladders so that you could climb on the icicles. It's not exactly how I had hoped, unfortunately, to make it look like you're actually climbing on the icicles because it's in the background. I did have to make them really, really big and the ladders really small, so I do apologize for that, because that is a little unfortunate. But this was the main reason why I made this whole entire thing, to be honest with you. But since it's the main room, and this is one big reason why I decided to do this, not just because of the icicles, the giant icicle in the main room, it's such a key element in that entire stage. Other than the snowboarding stage, it's basically like, or the snowboarding part of the stage, it's basically like the main attraction of the stage. You have to climb all around it, then you have to attack it, make that fall. Could you technically make the icicle fall? Yes. Do I want to? No, I just decided to make it a background element. If you guys have any ideas to make that possible, let me know. And I mean, there is the challenge of you guys creating Ice Cap Zone, so you guys can try that out, as well as somehow making the bridge be able to go down if you have the icicle go down. But this is a very limited creator, so there's only so much I can do. I did put the gate in the background, obviously. Well, okay, I'm sorry, I hate when I say that. But the door is closed because the icicle is up. The gate doesn't actually open until the icicle falls to the ground, so that's why that's closed. And then the last thing to mention is this little entranceway. I left this open just so that, you wouldn't bonk off of it. But then you have a more interesting area to fight in, high risk, high reward type of thing. Especially with this being the semi-platform. But this is where you'd enter the stage, you'd fall down. I wanted to make sure that you could actually get up to there or get down, so that's the only reason why this is here. Literally no other reason. I could have... Could I actually... Hang on, I just thought of an idea, and I'm curious if it's actually viable. Okay. I'm thinking maybe making like a wind elevator. And that might be kind of cool if I do something like that. But it kind of depends on how this actually works. So let's check this out really quick. Does this actually... Oh, wow, that really works how I thought it would. Oh my gosh, she, like, zipped right up there. Alright, we'll turn down the speed to maybe, like, let's do 80 and let's test that. And that's one good thing about this whole entire last segment, is this is just where we go through and we try to figure out, okay, what do we need to fix and what do we need to change? Oh, and it doesn't affect unless you jump on it, which is nice. So yeah, there you guys go. So that's a little wind elevator. And does that look better, maybe? Oh yeah, that's gonna work a lot better. Other than that, I feel like the stage is gonna work really well. I wanted to make sure it was also long because it's ice that you're walking on, so it's gonna be hard to fight. Oh my god, that's just amazing. But then you have this upper part that you can fight on as well. So there's just a lot that you can do in this stage. A lot of different fights that can happen. And I'm really honestly hoping that a lot of amazing, great things happen on this stage. Because it was super fun to make. So if you guys enjoyed it, make sure to hit that like button. Share this out with everyone known love, brother, mother, sister, father, iguana. We ended up making a Angel Island stage as the first episode, so if you haven't checked it out, definitely make sure to check it out. And as I mentioned before, I am challenging you all to make Ice Cap Zone from either Sonic 3 or Sonic Adventure, whichever one you want to. And I want to see your guys' interpretation of what the stage would be as a Smash Brothers stage. Now, of course, I'm still getting used to the creator, and of course, it could be better. Is using the floor as all ice the best option? I don't really know. Is the wind elevator the right option? I don't know. But it's up to interpretation. So that's why I'm doing the challenge for you guys. The other thing, you might be like, why did you have a Pikmin song for this? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. There's not really much calming, soothing, chilled out type of music for this. And I guess now that I think about it, I mean, it's too late to change, but now that I think about it, Ice Cap Zone doesn't really have like that chilled out music. But there's not really any ice type stages, so I decided, that was kind of a cool, more relaxed song in the entire Smash franchise that we have. So that's what I'm going to use. Now, the other thing that I'm going to mention before I leave you guys off with this is that the icicle could very easily also be in the foreground, and it could very easily be a fighting point. Now, I don't think I'm going to do that. I like how it is right now. And maybe I'll make an alternate version with that being the case and seeing how that goes. But for now, I think I'm just going to leave it at this, and I'm going to get some feedback and see from there. Okay, really quick before we go, I ended up doing a few changes. So I talked to my sister, showed her the stage, and we decided that it would make more sense to have the icicle in the foreground because I felt like with it in the background, it felt a little bit off, it just felt a little too plain for fighting. So having that there, that will make for very interesting obstacles because then the middle is in a clear zone. You can bonk, you can tack off of it, you can actually grab the top and fight on top of it. But more so, it just makes the stage a lot more interesting. And it actually makes a lot more sense because the icicle, now that I think about it, was in the middle of the stage. So even though I wasn't able to get your feedback and we are keeping like stuff like the icicle in the background, I do really like how the changes that I have made so far. I did change these two to not be grabbable because you do have this whole entire wind elevator and then you can go off of it. I don't see people really fighting on this too much, but this is more for like an aesthetic piece, to be honest. And I'm also thinking, and I'm kind of curious because after making that change and falling in this area, I'm thinking that I want to actually change this from the foreground over, or the background over to the immediate player area. So then that way, it just looks better all together. And also so then you can actually interact with those walls down there. So there we go. See, that already looks so much better. with the changes that I've made. And Mario, oh, that's how you wall jump. Okay, one thing that I do have to do though is change grabbable objects off, grabbable ledge to off. So there we go. Because, I mean, I don't think you can grab onto that, but I don't know why I phased through there. Who knows? Honestly, who even knows? Oh, okay, so that's... yeah. So I'm now going to get rid of this stuff because that's not needed any longer. And sorry that this is taking a little longer to make some of these changes. I could change this one to this background element to denim, but I think I'm just going to keep it like that. So there we go. See, it already looks 10 times better just from that change. All right, back to the original outro. Anyway, though, guys, I hope you all enjoyed, and I might wait to post this. Not sure. All right, keep your toes safe. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you want to see more from this channel, make sure to go to the left of the screen for subscribing and subscribing to my other channel, and go to the right of the screen to check other videos. Alright, see you guys later. Bye!